start with a new project. This is going to be a Windows form application. We'll call it Chapter 12, Lab 1, Part 2. Go ahead and create that. How many people started working this lab already?
I started.
A few of you?
One quick question before we start.
Yep.
So you know the little like hot bar we got above, like we got our tabs, like our code in our form, like if it says form1.cs design.
Yep.
Is there a way to rename those?
On the form in that?
Yeah, just to make things more organized.
Yeah, if you click on your form and you go scroll in your properties, like there's a name called Form 1, and then somewhere there's text where you can actually, I believe, change the,
There's where?
in your properties, if you click on the window itself and go into the properties.
If you right click on the form and view properties, it should take you directly to the thing that makes you change its name.
So I can do like food order now, and then if I click on that, it'll say food order up in the tab up there, or up in the menu bar area.
Yeah, but no, not that. Like the tab above. Yeah, right there.
No, the only thing you could change on that is if you change the form name itself.
Okay. That's not good. Then I don't break it.
Yeah, and you can change it there, but usually that the form design stays the same like it is. I haven't seen it change yet, so. All right, so got our window up. First thing we're going to do is we got a bunch of classes to create, it looks like. Let me bring my rubric up here. Looks like we got about 5 classes to create: an order class, a Sundae class, a soda class, a Sundae topping class, which is an enum, and a soda flavor class, which is an enum. The numbers here, some people asked about it. It's kind of a relationship number. So the Sundae class is referenced by the order once. The soda class is referenced by the order once. The soda can reference the order 0 to many times, or 0 to 1 times. 0 to many is more database talk. Same with the 0 to 1 time, it can be referenced. Over here, Sundae can do toppings 0 to 2 times, soda 0 to 1 times. The one with the asterisk, or 0 with the asterisk, means it can be many times more than that. So that's what those numbers mean. Just how many times you can reference it. So let's go ahead and start with our enum classes, since they're the quickest and easiest ones to start out with. So we'll start with Sundae toppings. I think that was the top one on our list there. Yep, Sundae topping. So let's go ahead and add a new class. Add class. Call it Sundae topping. That's what they call it on here. Sundae topping. .cs. And when we do an enum class, we always change our class from internal to public. We do public, and instead of class here, we use the word enum. Let's see, it says enum there.
So what does enum do?
Enum is just a class that holds constant data for the most part in it, and then you can reference it by an index if you want to. So like on our example here, we have a none, a sprinkles, a nuts, and a chocolate syrup. So like if we access none, it would be 0. We could access sprinkles and give it the index of 1, nuts an index of 2, syrup an index of 3. It's data that's supposed to never change and just stay like that as an easy reference. You see it occasionally. It was funny, one of the last projects I worked on, we had a system administrator trying to do developer work, and he was trying to get it all into this learning stuff, and he was trying enum, and I bet he wasted 3 days trying to set up an enum class to, I forgot what he was trying to reference, but he never did get it to work and ended up wasting 3 days on it.
Sounds like this kind of sounds like I think I remember a new JavaScript, like randomized chances or something.
Yeah, not quite like that, but. So,
not for this class.
So we'll go ahead and put our values in there. They're all capitalized. Separate them by a comma. You can put them all on the same line if you want to. It's just cleaner to put them on separate lines. So that's our Sundae topping. Nice and easy. We'll go ahead and add another class.
So no underscore?
Nope, not for this we don't. It's all caps.
Okay.
No underscores.
And it don't have to be all caps, correct? Because
It really should be in an enum. Enums are usually all caps.
I just said it's a W3 schools game, so I'm doing it.
Oh yeah,
You said no.
no underscores.
You have underscore from chocolate.
Well, he's talking about starting the word out like we do with our instance fields. And then what's the other one? Soda flavor. .cs. Again, we turn our internal to public. What's that? This is another enum. Helps if I spell it right, especially when they give me the choice of it right there and I still misspell it. How good is that? And you can see they put like none equals 0 here. That's kind of how you can reference that with the numbers on it. So I think we have a none. Oops, don't want that.
Make it reference the same way as the raised format index 0.
Yeah, pretty much on these, yep. None, lime, peach, and mango. So then looking at our rubric again, got our Sundae topping done, our soda flavor done. We'll go ahead and take a look at Sundae. Looks like it's got a constant called base price. That's a double at $4.50. Constant topping price, double at 50 cents. And then we have some weird stuff we haven't seen before. This toppings, Sundae topping array. And then our constructor, our gets and sets, and a couple methods that we're going to use. So go ahead and code out our Sundae class. So we'll go ahead and add another class. Call it Sundae. CS. And so if you don't remember to put the CS on there, I can add it for you. Again, turn our internal to public. Most classes you'll use are going to be public. So we'll start with our constant, UBLC, const. It's a double, and it's the base price. That's going to equal $4.50. We're just starting to code out Chapter 12, Part 2, Lab 1. You haven't missed too much yet. We just set up the enum classes, and we're jumping into the Sunday class right now. So we'll do it. I think they fell down on the table over here somewhere. Is there some there?
Yeah.
So when we do private Sunday toppings, is that making an object?
That's referencing the Sunday class. The object of that Sunday class is what it's going to end up doing. Cents, and then we have our private. Oops, that is Sunday. So there's our underscore topping, kind of like what Jack was asking about earlier, but we're just using the Sunday topping array, and that comes from our Sunday topping class, because the way you reference it, we're going to use 2 toppings out of it, so we want to use an index kind of out of it eventually. Private int topping count. And yep.
It's going to be video. Or?
Yeah, I'm recording it.
Okay.
And price. So I'll go back to our rubric and we'll look. Looks like we need a Sunday constructor. We're not passing anything into it, so we're just going to use the default. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to code the default out, but it's nice to get into the habit of doing it. So here we're not overloading our constructor, we're just using the default one. So we're going to do topping count equals 0. Our price is going to actually, our plus equal our base price. So that way every time they call our Sunday constructor, we'll add the price to it. Toppings equal new Sunday topping. And we're setting our array size to 2 like we've been doing with our arrays.
Is this the first class you're coding now? Or
What's that?
is this the first class you're coding?
We did the 2 enum classes already. They're
Oh, okay.
probably take you about 2 minutes to code those. And then when we go to a break, I can bring them up. You can see them
Okay,
real quick.
yeah, just
So,
wait. Okay.
so topping equals new Sunday toppings 2, and then we're going to set our toppings. First one's going to equal none. And our second toppings is also going to be none for now. That way if they don't order any, we're good. If they order some, we'll have them covered. So the Sunday constructor, we're setting our toppings count to 0. Our price, we'll add the base price every time somebody orders a Sunday or every time we call the Sunday object. And then if they call the toppings, put toppings on, we'll create a new object, Sunday toppings, in an array. And then we can hold 2 data pieces for that. Index 0, index 1.
I'm getting an error whenever I type that line.
When you type what?
The topping 0 equals Sunday topping.
Let me take a look real quick. So that's our constructor for the Sunday object that we're going to use. Let me go back to the rubric again.
Oh, that makes sense.
Got a get and a set. And a couple methods it looks like, so we'll get those set up. So do a public Sunday topping. It's gonna have an int. We're gonna use an index for that. Because it is an array, we got our index set up here to get our toppings. And I forgot my data type here.
Are we still in the Sunday class?
Yes,
The Sunday toppings, yeah.
and this should be get toppings, I'm sorry. Yeah, so I'm kind of messing my stuff up a little bit.
And that's weird, 'cause why don't we got that colon Sunday topping behind it, that's what we're supposed to be using.
This is our data type, and we're using that Sunday topping. Instead of using like an int or a string or anything, we're gonna use that Sunday topping.
Right, but why don't the rubric tell us to? It's supposed to be a colon Sunday topping, that's what we're supposed to use, right?
On the
Get topping.
get topping one,
Yeah, ain't it supposed to have Sunday topping behind it? But that's what we're supposed to do?
it's not really even showing a data type on this.
Right, that's
So-
why it's gonna be void.
Yeah, so whoever made out the what you call it, the UML didn't really do a good job on it. And then we're going to just return underscore toppings index. So IntelliSense did help me out that time a little bit. So our topping is just going to pass the value of the index back, whatever's chosen. And then we need an add topping method, it looks like. So we'll do a public void add topping. And we're going to pass our Sunday topping into it. And just give it a value of t. I think that's closer to what the rubric says there, something like that. Yep. Using our Sunday topping, we're just giving it a.
It's T.
It's just short for topping. Just it's an identifier, so you can call it whatever you want. If you want to call it ST for Sunday topping, you want to call it topping, anything like that, you're welcome to. Sundae topping. So we're gonna have to get the toppings, count the toppings, and figure out the price for the toppings. So it'll look something like this: underscore toppings. We're gonna use a topping count here. And that's gonna, there we go, topping count. It's going to equal our T that comes in, that gets passed through. I call it topping count. No, I call it toppings. So I need an S there. Toppings count. That's probably one of the things you'll run into most, is forgetting what you named your stuff and have to go back and look to make sure you catch it right. So then once they add a topping, we're going to add our toppings count, because we're going to limit how many toppings they're allowed to have. I think they can only have, what, 2 toppings? And then we need to calculate our price after they add a topping. So we'll do price plus equals a topping price. I think we got a couple getters we need to do. Topping count is a get and price is a get. So a couple read-only fields to get the topping count and the price. How do we know it's a read-only field?
You want to change it, maybe?
If it's only a getter, no setter. Public int topping count. Get return topping count. This is where IntelliSense is nice. But don't forget, even though IntelliSense does it for you, you still want to understand what it's saying and doing. So all we're doing is getting toppings count, which we're counting here, and just returning it back to the screen so you can use it. And then finally our price. That's a double. Why would we want our price to be a double? Yeah, there's a, more than likely there could be a decimal in it, so we want to make sure we handle the decimal. And then we're just going to return price for that. I think we got everything from our rubric covered on here. Base price, toppings. Sundae topping array. Topping count, price. Gets and our sets we just did, and our constructor. So it looks like we're good for our Sundae class. Any questions on any of that? Yep. So now that we got our Sundae class done, we're going to go ahead and do our soda class. Yeah, Jack.
What would you put for the last line?
The return price. Get return price down there. You good with that?
I got it, I'm just typing it out.
Okay, so we're going to add another class. That's going to be our soda class. Again, we'll make it public. we need for this class? We have it's like a couple constants, a base price, that's a double, $1.75. Flavor price, that's a double, it's 15. Flavor coming from the soda flavor class that we created, the object, and price, which is double. Flavor from the soda flavor class, a get. Price, it's a double, it's a get. Those are read only again. Our constructor called soda, and an add flavor method that we need to add. So let's work on those. So we'll create our instance fields first.
This sort of like be the same as Sunday topping.
Close to it, yeah.
Sunday.
So we'll do public constant double base price, which is 1.75, constant double price, which is 0.15. Private soda flavor. It's going to equal underscore flavor. Underscore price.
Do that to Sunday, let's see that quickly.
Sunday.cs.
Oh, never mind.
It looks like our instance fields for the soda class. Two constants, flavor coming from our soda flavor object, and a price double. Constructor. We'll do public. What's that?
You're outside the soda class.
Oh, good call. Thank you.
It's like watching a train wreck in real life.
Hey, watch it. Public soda. I gotta test you guys, make sure you're paying attention.
Making sure we're good for those technical interviews.
That's right. So we'll do underscore price. And again, we're gonna add the price as we go through it. And then flavor. Equals. And since we're referencing that soda object, or soda flavor, I should say, that we created, soda flavor dot none to give it our value.
Only need one because it can only have one flavor. At a time.
Exactly, yep, one at a time, so we don't need an array for this one since we're only handling one flavor. If we did two flavors, that'd get pretty gross, especially with the flavors we have.
Why does the diagram say burger with like topping?
It's saying doesn't exist in that context.
Where's burger and toppings at?
No, like on the actual example. Yeah, it's showing you. It says burger toppings. Sprinkle nuts, and chocolate. So. It don't matter. I was just trying to see.
Oh. So that's our constructor. We will do our gets and sets. So we'll do public soda flavor. And you could call this get flavor if you wanted to. I'm just using it as a property. We're gonna get return flavor. And then we need a price, public double price. Get, and we could do it shorthanded if we want to, like that.
Just the same way from there.
Same way as above, it's just, what's that operator called, Henry?
What? The lambda.
Yeah, lambda. So then we have a couple methods, or a method to set up. I think it's just called add flavor. Add flavor. So we're going to do that kind of like we did with the topping. So public void add flavor. Soda flavor. We can call it flavor like that if we want. You can do it short and just call it F like we did our T for topping. So our flavor is going to equal F. And then we need to put our price in it every time they add a flavor. We got to add a price to it. So we'll do plus equal flavor price. It looks like it for our soda class. So we have our instance fields here have two constants. One's a base price, one's a topping price, or I'm looking at the Sundae, sorry. One's a base price, one's a flavor price. And then we are using our soda flavor object from the soda flavor class for our flavor. And then we have a price, that's a double. We get our constructor soda. It's not passing any parameters in, it's not overloaded, so we use the default.
Did you have the bottom one, price?
Put a price in there.
All
Yeah.
the bottom.
Hold on. And then flavor uses our soda flavor object. We set it to none. That's what we say when we reference values out of our objects, we use a dot. So it's dot none. If we wanted to set that something else, we could, one of the other flavors, but we're starting out with none. So you might not want to flavor with it. We got our gets here, our read-onlys. Soda flavor, price. We use the lambda operator there to shorthand it. We could do it like we did above if we want to. And then our method finally add flavors. data type is our object soda flavor. We're giving it the value of F. As an identifier, we can call that anything we want. Underscore flavor, our instance field is going to equal that flavor. And then our price is just the price plus equal the flavor price. Everybody good with that? So then finally we'll go on to our order class.
Can you scroll down a little bit?
Yep.
I'm good. I'm good.
Good? Go ahead and
Can you go to the soda topping class real quick?
soda flavor or Sundae toppings?
Oh, Sunday topping. Alright.
And as you can see in our soda class where we have this soda flavor none, we go to our soda flavor class, and our dot none is right there. That's where we're getting our none from, in case you were wondering.
If you start at line, you think it'll skip none?
What's that?
If we put dot line, it'd just be line period.
Yep. Yeah, so whatever flavor you chose, that's what it'd be. So we'd have like a lime flavor to start out with. It could be like my daughter, what do they call them, a suicide, when you take every flavor in a soda machine and mix it all up. That's what she does. I guess she wants to make sure nobody's going to drink her soda.
Even root beer,
What's that?
even root beer.
She mixes all of it. If it has Powerade, that Powerade goes into it too. It don't matter. She puts them all.
You just go down the line, you go from left to right, and you keep going. Even if there's a second soda machine, you keep going to that second soda machine, and you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Yep.
8. And then if there's a second one, you keep going.
And she does that, so she doesn't have to worry about anybody drinking her nasty soda.
And then some people even go further, if there's a sweet tea on the side.
Oh man, that's hardcore there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul.
So, are enums like considered their own data type or something along those lines?
Yeah, it's a class kind of a thing is what you more use it for.
Can you go to enum soda flavor? I didn't get that.
But those aren't strings, obviously, right?
No, it's you try and think if you can set them as strings or not. It's been a while since I've worked with enums, and actually most of my coding career we never did use enums for a lot of it. Like I said, that data analyst that tried to become a developer wanted to show us how much he knew, and he tried setting an enum class up for some stuff we were using and could never figure it out to get it to work right. I think they ended up dropping it because of that. But yeah, you just call the enum class and then the value of it.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
So go back to our order class, make it public, and I think you can actually set the data types. Like I said, it's been a while. I'd have to double check on that. So what do we have in our order class? We have, this is actually an easy one here compared to what we've been doing. 3 values, 3 instance fields, a couple gets, and a constructor, passing in 1, 2 variables. So we can do private string name, and we're going to use a Sundae class. soda class. I'll get it sooner or later. So we have a private string, name, private, using our object Sundae. I'm going to hold that value in our Sundae, and a private soda and hold that value in our soda. And then we need a constructor. Of course, our constructors are usually public because we need to use them on our forms. Pass in string name, Sundae, Sundae, and soda, soda. No, we're going to do string name, a bool value for has Sundae. And a bool has soda, and that way we can see if they actually order a soda or a Sundae, and it can keep track of whether they do or not and properly handle it. So we'll set that up down here now. And of course, name is name. And then we're going to do an if statement in here and say if as Sundae, assign Sundae's instance field with the new Sundae constructor. And then another if statement. We'll say if as soda, set the soda value to the object. And then we have a couple gets. I think we had 4 gets. Name, Sundae, soda, and price. So let's do public string name, get return name. This is the times I do like IntelliSense. I remember the old days having to code all this out. Sundae, Sundae. Isn't there a song like that? Again, the reason we're doing the Sundae, Sundae and the soda, soda one coming up is because we're referencing that class, the object Sundae. Our property is Sundae, and then we just return that Sundae value. We'll do the same thing for our soda. Get return soda. And what we need price is the last one. So this one here, the price, we got some calculations we have to do on this. So we're checking for, eventually gonna have to check for a soda price. We're gonna have to check for a Sundae price and see if we need to add those into our price. Field for our order. So we can do something like this. So we'll do a get, or say double price equals 0. And we'll say if soda underscore soda is equal to null, we're just going to return the Sunday price here.
So where is this going?
Where is this going?
What is this get statement doing? Like,
So when we end up doing order.price to get this value of the price to show up on our screen, it's going to check and see if we're ordering a sundae or soda or both. And that's what these if statements are checking. It's saying if the soda value is null, then we're not going to print it out. We're not going to use it here and that. So all we want is the Sunday price for the price. So price will equal Sunday price. And because we're setting this Sunday object up here to our Sunday underscore, our instance field, that's why we can do that Sunday.price here. We can actually get the price out of the Sunday because of how we have it set up.
my get statement's messed up on the line.
Yeah, is it right up top?
Yeah.
Because we're not returning anything yet. So now we got to do an else if. Sunday is null. We just want to return the soda price. And again, because we're referencing the soda object up here in our instance fields, we can just use that underscore soda.price to get the value, the price value out of the soda class over there. And finally, we'll do an else.
So basically, like, it's going, these are going to basically, like, if we're not including anything, it's just going to set those values to 0, so not used.
Yeah. So it's just going to say if there's no soda, if soda value is null, set our price to just hold the Sunday price into it.
If we're going to set price to 0, or set them to 0, and we don't want to print out on the screen, they're just going to show up as 0 though, right?
We'll handle that when we get into the actual button calls and all that kind of stuff, and the button click events and all that.
It's possible to put like null is empty or something like that?
Where would that
Or
be?
double price. Instead of 0,
Instead of this, put.
yeah, like put like is empty or something.
Well, we're actually trying to get a price. We're not checking a Boolean value to see if there is a value there or not, kind of a thing. So,
Okay.
so that's why we have it 0, because we're going to end up returning a price to our screen eventually when we get into the form itself and start coding the form. So now that we got just the soda price, just the Sunday price, now we want both of them in case they order a drink and a sundae. And so we'll do price equals underscore Sunday price plus our soda price. And that will catch both of them. And then like Liam said, his get isn't happy. So let's return price and make it happy. And I think that is it for our order class. Let's take a look real quick. We have our instance fields, name, Sundae. Yep, Sundae, soda, soda. We have our constructor order with the name of string, has Sundae bool, has soda bool, checking to see if they made the order for a Sundae or for a soda. And then our gets and our sets are coming. And there's where you're kind of asking about your bool thing here, Liam. So we're checking to see if a Sundae has been ordered or a soda has been ordered. And if it has been ordered, we call the object to create it.
Can you go to the very bottom for a second? I'm not sure why, but I'm getting errors without practice.
Did you write your guess the parentheses? It would be the soda Sunday class.
Give me a second. Kieran, I'll come down and take a look. Now that we have our classes all finished, order, soda, Sundae, soda flavors, Sundae topping with your enums, we're going to go ahead and code out our form. This will probably be the longest part of the whole thing just because we got so much stuff going on with this.
Chocolate misspelled.
Did I spell it wrong?
It's spelled C-H-O-C-L. I just thought there was supposed to be a C after the.
Yeah, usually there is, huh? Chocolate syrup. Chocolate syrup. Hey, this is coding, not English. Coding 101, not English 101. But of course, I didn't write this, so I'm not taking the blame for it.
I knew you didn't write it. You wouldn't make a spelling.
That's right. I spelled it right in my code. So we'll go to our form. Looks like first thing we need is we're going to put a label up here. Let's scoot this back over so I can see my stuff. We're going to put a label. It's going to say, what name do you want on the order? You went on the order. Label. It's going to call it order name text. I need a text box at that point. TXT order name. And we will do another label. And this one will say name required, no food selected. somewhere on here there's a 4 color. That's what I want.
What did you name the text box data?
Hold on, I'll let you know. Is there a text color?
What are you trying to do?
Change my text color.
Or color?
Yeah, I
And then go
just
to web.
custom. There we go.
Or go to web.
Yeah, web has it too.
Yeah. So what I did there is, yeah, there's custom, web, and system. I chose custom, but there's also web. My text box, Liam, I called text order name. We'll do another label. Put that down here and say, do you want a Sunday? It does say burger toppings there, doesn't it?
Yes, recording connection to 6.
I guess. I sure don't want sprinkles or nuts or chocolate syrup on mine.
Right, because you're all mint.
Yeah. So do you want the Sunday? And we're gonna put a checkbox on there, something new we haven't used yet.
I'm afraid to change.
What's that?
I said I'm afraid to change.
Yeah. Embrace change. So our name, we're gonna call it CHK for checkbox. Check Sunday, yes. Somewhere it should have some text for it. Now we can do a soda one. Soda yes, Sunday yes, soda yes. Got those two done. Now let's put our burger toppings on there. 3 check boxes for that. Sprinkles. Sprinkles. Nuts. Nuts. And chocolate syrup. They did spell it right on the choices here, Carter.
Yeah,
What do you call the check boxes? Like in data?
CHK is what we're using for check boxes, yep. Chocolate syrup, whoop, whoop, whoop. Chocolate syrup. And actually, let's make these a group box now that I had you code everything out. And do they have a group box? Is it? Oh, that's right.
Rich text box. You used to have rich text box instead of that.
Not yet, we're going to get to there though. Yeah, I'm going to throw those in a group box. So, it'll be easier to code. So we can get rid of the Sunday topping and then name our group box. The group box just holds everything together kind of under one volume.
Where is it?
Under containers, we have common controls and then containers.
Common controls.
And then group boxes under there.
I already made them up.
GRP, Sunday. Scoot this over. GRP.
Hold on, this is new management.
And I'm just going to copy this one and paste it, and then we'll have our mix-ins. Nice what? Lime flavor. Lime flavor. CHK lime. we got a couple notices we got to put under there, so I need a couple labels. Label 1, we'll say only 2 toppings allowed.
Who said we could mix the sodas?
L. Mix in error. Mix in error. Only 1. Mix in allowed. Now we're going to end up putting a rich text box on here. Give that a label.
What is that?
A rich text box. It's under Common Controls, rich text box. We'll bold it, make it a little bit bigger. Need our button. And then finally a label with our total down here. Call it order total. Bold it, make it a little bit larger. Text on there yet.
You named the rich text box.
Did I? I thought I did. Maybe.
We just printed it out.
It's gonna print it out, but yeah, we still need to. RTB for rich text box. We call it order display. Yep, RTB for rich text box. You can call it whatever you want. Usually you want to keep your labels somewhere close, or your name somewhere close to what the control is.
What did you name, like the name, it's hard to be what?
Order display. So last couple things we need to do is we have these red labels. We'll set the visibility. I think they have a thing on here. Visible, we'll set those to false.
Are you doing that?
Yeah, and the properties.
Okay.
Is it cause validation?
What's that?
Causes validation, change to false.
No, we want on your properties, just there's a thing called visible under behavior. We just want that set to false. And that should be everything on this form, I believe. I thought I laid it out pretty good. The tab index will run through it all right. I mean, we can switch it as we go through if we want to. Everybody good with this part? Alright, so we'll double click on our button, get that button click wired up. So first thing we do, and I say this all the time, is the first thing we need is that user's name. So we'll set up a string. We'll call it username. That's from our text box order name. Like I said a million times, most of the stuff we need data out of these text boxes to use for our code. So always set that stuff up first. I like to always take my text boxes and assign them to a variable. That way I can use that variable later instead of having to type out this text box stuff all the time. So now that we got that, we're going to do an if statement to make sure some stuff is being ordered. Yep.
Text box, like that rich text box, do we have labels in it?
No, we're going to end up printing out to it. So you got your username set up over there?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do an if statement. And we're going to say check Sunday yes is checked. And so that dot checked is how you tell if a checkbox is checked or not. So if it's checked, it comes back true. If it's not checked, it comes back as false. And then we'll say or check soda yes. Let me say And I don't think I necessarily need the bracket there. And so now we're going to see if the username part is empty, and so we can do a string that is null or empty, and that is a method. And we're going to put username in there as our parameter that we're going to pass. And actually, this is seeing if it's null or empty. We want to see it. We want to make sure it's not null or empty. So we may have to do. What's that?
You're missing dot track.
Oh yeah, on that one there. Thank you. I thought it filled it out for me for some reason.
You don't have that inside of your.
Yeah. So. So what we're saying here is if our Sundae is checked or our soda is checked and our username, our text order dot name, our text order name dot text box is not empty, we're going to go ahead and do some stuff here. So let's throw our error message in here. So we'll say label name order error dot visible. Remember that those labels in that are objects, and so we have to use the dot visible as a property of it, and we want to say equals true, and this is our error message. Actually, this should still be false. That is checked, that's checked, yeah, so we'll do else. So if one of them's checked and this should stay false. And we want to create an instance of a new order here, so let's create we'll give it global scope. We'll call our object order and assign it to the value of an order. So then we'll create order equals a new order. That order has to take in, if we go look at our class, order needs to take in a string of a name, a boolean of has Sundae, and a boolean of has soda. So we go to our form, we'll have to do an order, and the first one we had was string name. You can see right there, here it's telling us what our order object needs. Our order class or order object needs a string of a name, a boolean of has Sundae, and a boolean of has soda. So our string of a name, what are we going to use for that? Yeah, we'll just put our username in there. That's why I like putting it all in a variable, so we can just type in username instead of having to keep typing in that text box over and over and over again.
We set the checkboxes to bool.
Checkboxes are always bool because it's either yes, they're checked, no, they're not checked. So, yes.
he said we did not have to, we could just go ahead and put checkbox, since they already moved.
We have to do check, that checked, yeah, and then it says, is it checked? Yes, is it checked? No, so that's what it's actually looking for. So then we need a bool has Sunday, so we will put check Sunday, yes, dot checked. And a checked soda, yes, checked.
That's what I was asking.
Like we did.
Yeah, you probably could have done something like that.
Okay.
So how do we want to name that though to make it look good? Sunday checked. So something like that.
Mhm.
And you could do it for the soda too if you wanted to, more than likely. So we'll throw our error message in here. Label name order error dot visible equals true. Cut this out. So this here is going to create our order. This here creates an instance of an order. When it creates an instance of an order, it's just creating like a template of the order that we did. So we're creating an order object there. We'll put in the username, a Boolean value to see if the Sunday has been checked, and a Boolean to see if the soda has been checked. And we get that just from our order class where we create our order object over here. It's asking for a name. Boolean has Sunday, Boolean has soda, and you can see if it has a Sunday, gets the object from the Sunday. If it has a soda, it gets the object from a soda, and then it'll run through those objects and do what it needs to do. So we can give this a test and see.
It just gives me an error, kind of, I don't order.
Did you declare it up top as a global or a global scope object? Right under the squiggly for public partial class. You have that up there? That's probably why you're getting an error on it then. So we put that in global scope, that way we can use it throughout our code and not have to worry about it anymore, where we declare it at, and if it's in local. Yeah, Carter.
One and symbol, since it wants to check if both are there.
One and symbol.
Yeah, since it also check if both are there?
To use and, you have to use two and signs like that. So you have to use and for the and.
I thought it was that if either one was true, it wouldn't show.
Well, this one here is an or. The two pipes is an or. So we're saying as long as one of those two are checked and our string is not empty, we should be all right. And so I didn't put a name in. I tried to order my food. Gave me an error. Let's see if it will change it. Yeah. So. Should have got rid of it there for some reason. For some reason we're still getting there. Oh, because we don't have one of them checked. There we go. What's that? I did that first and it gave me an error. Huh.
Yeah, I looked at the book.
Yeah,
You
when
can-
you
you
use
can-
crashes the program.
Yeah,
I looked
mine
at the
was,
book,
but
it
it's
was
not
just one and it checks both.
Just one and like that?
Yeah, and it checks both.
Huh. Yeah, I'd never seen it done like that. Or,
both ends work.
yeah, they should.
It will work.
So we're checking one or the other at this point, and that's probably why it's not quite working right there. So we can take a look at the debug real quick.
What's happening in the village?
What's that?
What's happening in the village?
So
Mrs. G, you didn't assign your other labels that you only did one of.
Yeah,
Your
mine's
your
supposed to
outfit.
be too.
sign my label to true.
The error messages. That was red. You only did one of. That's just part of it.
Oh, no, that's how it come.
You talking later in the code or on this section here?
The checks and the makes sense. I think you just got the name order 172.
So to check.
I'm checking for the Sundae as well.
Yeah, I might Sunday in that. Check soda, yes. Check Sunday, yes. So it's saying if check Sunday or check soda is checked. And my check string, oh, I see what I might be doing wrong. So I want to do like this and have it check those first and then check that. So now let's see. I didn't select any food. Selected one of the foods. There it goes. Get rid of that. And then my string is not there. My food is.
Visual Studio is weird though, because mine's working.
Is it?
Yeah, the way without the extra parentheses either.
So I'm doing here is if this check Sunday or check soda, and then an and string is empty after that. So it's making sure one of these are true first. Yeah, so you'll put two parentheses to start it, and then after the check, close your one of the parentheses, and then after your string, close the second parenthesis, and that should be able to pick it up now. If you're still having issues with it, let me know and I'll come take a look.
Oh, string on mine is lowercase. I don't know if that would have made anything a difference. 'Cause that's the only thing I can see with, right there in the, if statement.
Yep.
My string is, stringed out is no empty, the S is lowercase, I don't know.
Try it uppercase being an object.
Oh.
It's an object, so it should be uppercase technically there.
Okay.
So we have the object, the string object is what we're using here. And you can see for that class system string. And then that dot is null or empty is a method that's used in that class with that object.
Right. I was just trying to see what was
Yeah.
different between mine and yours to why yours wasn't working.
So now we got the checkbox, or the name and the checkbox and everything working. So now let's see what we do if just the Sunday is checked. So we will, we're going to nest an if statement in here. So we'll say if check Sunday is checked. And then do another if. Now we're going to check for toppings on here. So we'll say if check sprinkles. Check sprinkles. Checked. And nuts. Dot checked. And chocolate syrup. Dot checked. What are we expecting here? Yeah, we should get some kind of error message because we're not allowing 3 of them. So we'll put our error message in here. LDL toppings allow error. Dot visible equals true. And then we'll say else. Here's where we're going to add the toppings. Say label topping error dot visible is false. We don't want it to be seen anymore. And then we can do if check sprinkles is checked, but we don't want that and sign in there at this point. And we could put the squiggly brackets on here and do our statement there, but as we've talked about it in the past, if you only have 1 line of code after an if statement, you could actually do a shortcut on it, and we can do an order dot Sunday add topping and if we look at our add topping from our order class, is it in our order class or is that in our Sunday class? And that's why we have to do the Sunday. Our order, get our order class, then we go use the Sunday class, and then we do our add topping. That add topping is looking for a parameter coming through it. So we're going to say add topping is Sunday topping dot sprinkles. And we can call it that way. We can do a shortcut since it's only one line of code. We don't need the curly brackets for the body of it. If you want to do it with the body part on there, you can do it like that still. So if you want to do it like this, you could still do it like that. You could do it like that if you want to still. I'm going to just keep it shorthand because we're going to do a couple of these and just to make it clean. So then we'll do another if statement. If check sprinkles, or I should say check nuts dot checked. We're going to do it and order dot Sundae dot add topping Sundae topping dot nuts. And if you want to save some time, you could copy and paste. Copy and paste. And then we just gotta do chocolate. Is that what we called it? Chocolate syrup. Chocolate syrup. Thought I just saw chocolate syrup in there. Check. CHOC. Look, I spelled chocolate wrong, didn't I? Chocolate. Chocolate. CHOCLATE, however you spell it. Chocolate syrup checked. And order Sundae. Put this has to be chocolate syrup. So now that we checked our Sundae,
Now we check the soda.
yep, so we can run this if we want, see if it works. Chocolate Sundae, that's good. No errors, there we get an error. What happens if we try and put 3 on here? Only 2 toppings allowed. Get rid of that. That gets rid of our error. So that looks like it's working all right at this moment. That's always a good sign.
It's just saying the things outside of the bounds to get right.
For which part?
All of it.
Take
Yeah,
it.
trying to test if the error when you click all of these working, it just.
All right, let me take a look.
No, if you could go three.
We check for our toppings, and now we need to check for our soda flavors. So we'll do another if statement here. And say if check soda, yes, is checked. And then we'll do another if statement, and that's, what's it called when there's an if statement inside of an if statement like that? Yep, a nested if statement. So we're going to do a nested if statement. And we'll say if check lime dot checked and check peach. That checked. Or check lime. That checked. And check mango. That check. Or check peach. That checked. And check mango. That checked. So what we're doing here is we only allow one flavor. So we're saying if lime and peach is checked, or lime and mango is checked, or peach and mango is checked, what are we going to want to do here? Yep, too many mix-ins selected. I'll throw the error here. So we'll do label mix-in error is visible as true. And then we'll do an else. And just like we did before, gonna get rid of our error if it happens to be there. Make sure it's not seen. We'll do if check lime is checked, and we're going to create an instance of our object here. So we're going to do an order dot soda dot add flavor, and we're adding a soda flavor lime. So just like we did for the sundae toppings, we're checking for the soda flavors. If it's checked and it only has one of them checked, we're going to get that value of that one that's checked. So we'll do So then we check the lime, we're going to get the value of the peach. Create our instance of our order. Add flavor. Peach. And then finally check for our mango. See if it's checked. If it is, we're going to create an instance of an order. We don't want peach though, we want mango down here. now we should be able to check this. You want a soda? Yes. That's good. Check 2 and it should throw an order. Error. Cleared out. 2. Order error. Clear it out. Order error. Bless you. So it looks like that's working all right. Everybody good with that? Say yes. Yep. All right. All right.
His error isn't popping up. Like when he
For your mix-in flavors. So we're going to do the is valid. We're going to put it right inside our first if statement up here where we're checking to see if the Sundae is checked, the soda is checked, and if our string's not empty. So we're going to do bool is valid. So again, we put it with the error message to set it. You know what, let's take this and move it outside just to make sure we do catch it. Yeah, because that way, even if it's in any of these if statements, we're sure to get it. So we can set it false there. We don't need to set it to true because it comes in as true. And it stays true until we flip it to false, which is what we're doing in the errors. And this last one we don't need. I don't think we'll need it there. Yeah, we shouldn't need it in that one. So now to do our display output.
Mr. Jesus, so like is valid is like it's coming up as like it's not being used.
Did you move it up out of the?
Has to be outside.
Yeah, just to make sure we catch it in the ifs. With all those ifs, more than likely we'll end up losing it for a local scope. So after our soda check, we're going to display the output now. We're going to say if is valid, which means if that is valid is true, so we're going to need a variable here. So we can go back up top. We'll declare a double up here. We'll call it grand total. Give it the value of 0. And we'll say grand total is, we're going to keep adding to it, so do plus equal, and order dot price. So this is going to output the total price. We can do label, what do we call it? Order total. Text equals grand total the string. And we want to format this as currency, so we can do that there. So now we're saying it is valid, and we know it is unless we hit an error. It's going to stay true all the way through, so it's true. It's going to get our totals we need.
Is ordered below, like, in the form, like right below this, like, the rich text box?
Is what? Or yes, that should be the one down at the bottom right corner down there.
Should we also, like, include, like, spring saying, like, total on then the price?
Well, we put it in the parenthesis to set it in there in that toString to show that it's currency. And then we'll do our rich text box, order display. That text. And we want to keep adding order names as we take them in. So we'll say in order dot name, and then RTV text, and this is just going to split our orders up so we can get our orders. And we'll do another if statement here. And say an order dot soda equals null. And most of the time you'll do a not null just to make sure it's not null coming in so you can handle it, but we're doing a null here. If an order equals null. Did I do that right? I want. There we go. So equal null. So let's create a method. See where we're at. So we'll create one here and we'll call it private void display Sundae. I'm not going to pass any parameters to it. And our rich text box. I'm going to say Sundae dash this is going to read the number of toppings int topping count equals an order dot Sundae dot topping count so we're going to check and see if there's a topping count. So if topping count.
Something just came up and I gotta leave a message you on Discord.
Okay. Is equal to 0. And do RTB output text. Get toppings. Get topping, I named it wrong, so I put an S on the end, that's why it's not happy. So get topping. That should be all we need there. We'll do an else here. So what this is saying here is if there's no topping, we're going to display, we're going to get our object in order, get the Sunday object, get topping, and that get topping, the index 0, if we go back at our get topping, Sunday topping, that 0 is none. You can see our Sunday here, if it's 0, it's none. So it's going to pick up none from that. So you should see none when it prints out. And then else, and we're going to do a for loop in here for multiple toppings. So we'll say for int I 0, I is less than topping count, add to the topping count loop, or say RTB order display dot text plus equals and order dot Sunday dot get topping. And we want I here. Plus one blank space. And then outside the else, we're going to do rich text box or display that text plus equals an order that Sunday dot price string plus backslash n. So it's going to show the price of our Sunday and then give us a new line. So back up in our if valid statement.
Can you go back down real quick? Okay, was that just another way of printing a currency out?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Alright, I'm good, thank you.
Alright, so what we're saying here is we're doing this, going to display Sunday with a dash, do a topping count, get our topping count from the Sunday class. If topping count is 0, we're going to display none because of that 0 for our index. Else, we're going to loop through, get the orders, or the toppings I should say, and display the toppings with the price on it. convert it to currency. So go back to our if statement up here, and order soda is null. We're going to display Sundae that's a method, so it needs the parentheses behind it. And then we're going to do plus equal, just a backslash n to make some space. Else if and order dot Sundae is null, and we'll create another method, and we'll call this one display soda. So this is going to kind of be set up close to the same way. This one will be a little bit easier because we don't have to loop through anything since we're only taking one. So it's going to output the soda. RTB text. Soda. We're going to read the number of mix-ins. Put it out to our text. Flavor. And then RTB text. And you can see this toString, it says string format in here, and we're formatting it to currency. That's why we've been using that :C the whole time. We're telling we want to format it to currency. Gonna break it down to a new line. That should be it for our display soda, so it's gonna put the soda out there, flavor of it, and then the price for it. If we look at that soda price in our class, we get the price is the base price, which is $1.75, and then if they add flavors onto it, we started out at none, and then they add the flavors onto it and get the price for it. Add flavor, price plus the flavor price. So that's where we're coming from there. So we will go back to our if statement for the if valid to get this to print out. So if it's a Sundae, we want to display the soda if it's null. We'll do RTB.text plus equals display soda \n. And then finally, we'll do an else here to say if it's both of them.
We gotta say both of them, or can we just put else display?
That's what we're going to do.
Oh,
So we'll do display soda, display Sunday, and actually I'm going to flip them around just so they match how we're kind of walking down through our code. It doesn't really matter, but displays. Which one? Populates first, yeah, which was going to print out right. Yep, that makes sense. Display Sunday, and then we'll do our RTB text equals \n. I think that's most of it. So go to our form design real quick. We need to check. Is it going to be this here? If Sunday change checked. If Sunday checked. Let me try something real quick. Yeah, that's what we want. So we're going to click on, in your form design, on your do you want a Sunday yes, double click on your checkbox there. And it should give you a private void, check Sunday yes, check changed.
What did you do? What you stuck there?
On your form design, on your do you want a Sunday checkbox, double click on that. And we're going to change our visibility on these group boxes to make them show and disappear as we click on them. So let's do an if check Sunday yes is checked. Our group box Sunday toppings dot visible equals true. Else group Sunday toppings dot visible equals false. And we can do the same thing for our soda one too. If we go double click on our soda, we can pretty much copy most of that. Let's just type it out. If check soda yes is checked, group soda flavors dot visible is true, else group sodas flavors visible is false. So that's just going to hide our group boxes there. I think that's all we need to do for this.
So when we by default put them on false then? Like the
Yeah, is it showing up on true? I didn't even go look, so we could do.
Why
Wait, did you put something in your rich text box?
Yeah, all that stuff we've been coding out is all going to go in there.
No, I'm talking about an actual form.
In the form, it's the code.
I mean
In the designer?
design, yeah.
No, we didn't put anything in there.
You sound like group or something. Trying to see.
That's our the group
Oh,
the
you
group
put
box.
yours in the,
Yeah, we wrapped them in a group
okay.
box so we can hide them all with one little piece there. That's kind of why.
Did you set the group boxes to false automatically on the property?
I'm looking now to see what I have it set at.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a thing.
Visible is set to true, so we can set them to false,
False.
and then set visible to false. So now when we run this, they should be hidden. There you go. So
Sunday toppings aren't like printing them, so dash with the price.
on your dash, it's not. So there's
Try to,
needs a name or food selected, so we'll put a name in. Still need a name or food. Click on yes, and our Sunday toppings pop up. We can add items, so then we put a Sunday, no toppings, so our price shows up at $4.50. Our grand total's $4.50. We want to add sprinkles and nuts. It's 10. Requires it. Joe wants a soda. We'll give him lime. Soda with lime, soda. We go back to our code. Base price is $1.75 plus the lime flavoring is 15, so that should be $1.90. Soda with lime is $1.90. Can only add one flavor. Let's see if Mike is kind of hungry, so he wants a Sundae. Can only have two toppings on it, so we'll do sprinkles and chocolate with a lime drink. And we broke. So what did we do wrong here? Take a second to debug it and see what's going on. Because we moved this is valid up to a global scope, when we set this false, it's staying false as it's coming through. So under our else statements, where we know it's valid, we need to change that is valid to true, or add is valid as true, and then it should work and catch everything. So hang on one second, Paul. Looks like we still might have an issue with our Sunday topping one. So I may have to debug that. We'll fix it tomorrow. Other than that, looks like everything's working as should be. So it's still allowing me to do Tony 1 even though we have an error.
Because it doesn't prevent it from going through if there's an error.
So I'll have to check on that. I'll get that cleaned up for class tomorrow. We can fix that. And see why it's allowing us to drop through there even though we're doing 3 of them. Do what?
I think you might have to make like a soda valid and a Sundae valid instead of just
Is valid for all of them. So it looks like if we take that is valid out of the global scope and put it back into that local scope inside that first if statement, set it to true. I think it's catching it properly now. Seemed like that fixed my error. Yeah, when it comes back through instead of leaving it global. Yeah, instead of staying it. So that should fix it there by putting it.
Can we just make it so that for the soda, when we click one of the check boxes, it unchecks every other checkbox? That way they can't select it.
If you're going to do that, you could probably use radio buttons instead of a checkbox if you really want to keep it from doing that. That would be the best bet for handling that.